Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to today's episode of Ryan Does Whatever It Is They're Doing. Normally, I like to do a review on things, but this game series has been so near and dear to my heart from such an early age, I want to do something a little bit different. And when I say this show has been near and dear to me, I mean this show has been near and dear. I keep calling it the show, but the game, Fallout series. Look, I don't know if this is going to work on this camera. Hopefully the autofocus is working properly, but we have this. I bought this off Etsy a while ago because I fucking loved it and I wanted it, and it doesn't show up and I look crazy when I wear it in public, but it's fine. This bad boy someone got me for my birthday one year because they're awesome and they understood me, and it makes me so happy. The hat that I'm wearing that y'all probably noticed, y'all, this show is literally a dream come true for me, right? Like, this is what I've wanted my entire life. And now that it's finally here, you're damn right I'm going to talk about it. So let's go back a little bit. More of a loose outline for what I think is going to happen today. I'm going to talk about my feelings on the first episode. I'm going to theorize where I think the rest of the season is going. I know all the episodes are already out, but that's no fun. So instead, I'm going to watch them one by one, maybe react to them, I don't know, but like really enjoy this, right? Really feel this, because this is something I've wanted for so long. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for myself. I'm going to tantalize in it. That's not a word, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. When I do upload this video, please no one spoil anything in the comments, okay? Because I am taking this piece by piece, all right? There I was, watching the first episode, delayed by several days because I had a rough draft due for my final. Oh my god. So I wrote down like a list of things actually that I think of when I think of Fallout, right? Like things that come to mind when I want out of this show. I literally wrote what I want going into this question mark. Music was the first thing I put because there was nothing. Maybe not, but one of the most important things to me in Fallout is the music, right? It's that energy, it's that atmosphere. It immediately puts you into this mindset of, yeah, it's the 50s. What could go wrong? Not nuclear devastation. We got kick-ass cars, great haircuts. Well, everyone has the same haircut, but the outfits, fire. The dancing, fire. The nuclear explosion, probably fire. I'm not entirely sure what happens, but I would imagine there's a lot of fire to be had. Y'all, I gotta remember to breathe during this video. The music. It just rushed in. Sorry if that was loud for y'all. This is a new microphone, as y'all can tell. New green screen, which I don't think is gonna work. And a new mic arm, but y'all don't get to see because I'm talking to you. You personally. Jeff. The music. It swelled in and it made me so happy and honestly really emotional. The first 4 minutes of the show, I could not stop having tears form in my eyes. It was so bad. It's just been such a surreal experience for me. Sorry. This has been such a surreal experience. I've wanted like a book and a show and a movie for as long as I can remember, because this game cuts so deep. This game is everything I love about hating America. Everything I love about everything. I don't know. I can't put it into words, but this game has been like a core foundation of me. You can ask any of my brothers. You can ask probably any of my friends. I rant about this thing all the time. Something pops up in the lore and, like pops up like it's new, but like I'll discover something new. I'll watch an Oxhorn video and I'll be like, oh, did you know this? Isn't this the coolest thing? My partner must be so sick of me talking about Harold the Tree. Like I can't express this enough with the show. Whatever. I wanted to cry. I did cry, actually. It was like a lone tear, like one lone manly tear.
It's enough to make a grown man cry. But not this man. Get back in there, tear.
And I just broke down for a second because They did it. They did it.
You did it, sir.
I did it. He did it.
The opening takes place pre-war, and oh my god, they had the sugar bombs, and they had the Nuka-Colas, and they had the radio on, and you knew war was about to break out, and you know what's coming, and yet it still packs that punch when the first nuclear bomb actually gets dropped, and oh my god, it hurts. It just hurts in the best possible way. I could tell right then and there, I'm gonna love this show, but I'll probably love it no matter what, unless they like egregiously tear something off on the lore, and then I have to like kill myself. Another thing about the opening that made me really kind of happy in a weird way is, Vault Boy's got his little thumbs up thing. Hopefully the autofocus doesn't just die for that. Which a lot of fans have liked to point out is like this rule of thumb. You get it. That's like a rule of thumb of like, if an explosion is past your thumb and if your explosion is closer to your thumb, whether you're going to die or not. Which has never been like an official actual thing from the game, from my understanding, but they mentioned it, and you know what, I kind of liked it, and I was like, okay, you're kind of dancing around here, but you know what? It was okay. I liked it. Little cowboy, we have a little bit of like weird thing going on with him and his daughter, and for some reason he's not liked by the rest of the people, but the rest of the people are now probably dead for like 200 years. So you know what? Maybe he's over it. We'll get back to that at the end of the episode. Off the cuff though, right now I can say I do think it's going to be like a Marceline and Simon kind of relationship where it's the end of the world and maybe he's still looking for her, or maybe she's just like she's just dead and he's going crazy because he's a ghoul now, which is super sick. They look pretty okay. I don't know what I wanted. I think maybe more wrinkles, but you know what, that's bogging down in the makeup. They did a good job. It looks great, but he is a ghoul, and as all my Fallout fans know out there, thank you Deathclaws, the ghoul, can go feral. They kind of go crazy. They're like zombies waiting to happen, and so at some point, it's gonna happen. It's like he's gonna die, and he's probably gonna kill some peaches with him. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. He's like a cowboy ghoul, which we've kind of had before in the actual games. So it could be cool. I could get behind it. A little John Hancock action, and look, a lot of the things I'm saying probably mean nothing. So if you follow my channel but you don't know anything about Fallout, this is probably not the video for you. But I will have a review out at some point, probably before I never actually post it because I hate looking at myself. And then you can understand what's going on there. I'll talk more about the actual bits and pieces of the show. Okay, the next thing I remember. So this show is going to split itself up into like 3 different characters, which I can get behind. And I think the way to do that either would have been 3 different seasons, or depending on how it gets presented, of intersectionality. That's not really how intersectionality works, but you know what I'm saying. An intersection. I could get, it depends on how it works. My point being, I really like the fact that, the autofocus is going to be terrible for this episode because I could not get it to focus not autofocusing, or unless I'm stupid and I focused it earlier and then I'm switching it because from the looks of the settings it says manual and I don't know what that's about. Don't worry about it. Ooh. Sorry about that. I'm panicking. This is going to be a very loose video. I don't know if I'm going to edit it very much. I'm kind of thinking we're just going to go old school YouTube here because I'm excited. Performs well, great. If it doesn't, what we have here is, and I wrote this down because I'm forgetful. You all know me. Right, okay. We have the pre-war, we have Vault Dweller, and then we have Natural Citizen. And I think those are the 3 main focuses of Fallout that would be really cool to see. Because the Fallout games, to my knowledge, and I'm gonna keep saying to my knowledge, because this game lore goes deep, and I know people are probably going to correct me in the comments if I actually have any Fallout fans. But, so we have all Vault Dwellers for the main characters. Which is fine because it's the way the games work better, but I'm very curious. I don't know if y'all can hear that, how loud that is. I got a metal bar in there.
I am Iron Man.
I'm very curious to see the story unfold for someone who was born before the bombs drop, someone who was born after the bombs drop, and someone who was born after the bombs drop in the safety of their home. So let's talk about her because she's the second character that the show introduces and spends the most time with. So my theory for that going forward is probably that she's going to be like the main pseudo character, even though they're all the main character. I will probably at the end of this talk about like exactly what I think is going to happen for each person. So if you're here for that, give me a minute. Give me a few. Whew, God, where do I begin? This was so upsetting. This hurt me so badly. It's a mark of a good things coming forward because Fallout is a terrible, terrible place to be. When you're playing it as a video game, you know, like the Wasteland is whatever. It's fun. There's a chance you're going to run into a bloat fly and you go, and then you just like swat at it and hope you don't get killed from the radiation. But when you're actually watching people go through it, it feels so awful because it's the end of the world and people are at their worst, which is saying something. And it's, is it terrible? So, spoilers, I guess, not really because it's the first episode and you're watching me talk about it. She has this whole like getting ready to get married thing, which is, it's actually really well done. It's not something I really thought about with the vaults, because, you know, after 219 years, there's bound to be a little incest happening, and that's not a sustainable practice, which they mention kind of a lot, which, you know, it's a little weird because there's some cousin diddling going on, and I don't know what that is, but it makes sense. There is supposed to be, I believe, 1,000 people in each vault canonically, but, you know, obviously excluding the experiment vaults, but like the control vaults are supposed to be that. So I'm not sure the math on how fast that would actually start happening with that, but, you know, I'm sure someone is and they'll tell me if it's wrong or right. But I liked it. And then I loved the vault. I was so happy seeing the vault. It looks so good. It looks so good, and they keep it in pristine condition because like these people clearly are not product of an experiment. Maybe it seems to be like a sustainable community vault where you have two different vaults that intersect and like interbreed, which is really interesting actually, because I can't think of any other vault on record that's supposed to do that or connect to another vault. Typically the vaults are separated by large land masses. It hurts. I don't even know how to like describe it. It was the most upsetting scene. And it was like, you could see it coming, kind of, if you knew it was coming, because they have, you know, the other vault come in for them to have a pre-arranged marriage. And they look a little bit grimier, and they're a little bit more hungry than the others. And it becomes quite apparent once it's actually revealed, because, you know, they build up to a little bit, that these are raiders that broke into the vault. The head of the raiders seems to have some sort of inside knowledge about the vaults, which I'll get to when I theorize about things. And it's so gross. It makes me feel so nasty. It probably affected me most out of anything in the first episode is the main character, the girl, whose name I can't remember, but I want to say it's Millie, but I only remember Maximus's name, and that's just because it's Maximus. It's like Elder Max. Yeah, y'all get me. But the girl, so they have their wedding sex, right? Their wedding night intercourse, which is, you know, a thing that people do. So I've heard. And then he kind of like is in awe a little bit of like, you know, they're like the utilities and this shelter, and then they fight like to the death, like not actually to the death, because for some reason this man is made out of like some crazy shit. Maybe he's on psycho, I don't know, but God, I can't even, it just like, she's gonna get pregnant. That's part of my theory, but she's gonna get pregnant. But it was so awful. I can't even imagine, like, you live your life in this vault, your entire thing, and you have this vision. There's this really great speech by her father, which also, you know, is a little questionable, that we're gonna get more into, about trusting and how difficult it is going to be going forward and like saving the world, repopulating the world. The whole point of the vaults, from people who don't know what the actual vaults are, is to repopulate when it's safe. And then to have them to like have that thought your whole life, you think your kids are going to be the ones to leave the vault and repopulate the world, only for that, to have sex and feel safe and secure and whole. For that, oof, it's terrible. The fight is so awful. It feels like such violence, like just between the two of them, between her and him, who, he's dead at the end of this episode. That's why I'm not really putting much emphasis on him, but it feels so disgusting. And like they had sex, like she was so intimate with him, and it wasn't real. It was just, it was terrible. My point is, it was terrible. I did not like it. Also super gory, which is good because it indicates what the show is not going to shy away from, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm looking forward to that a lot, especially with like some of the creatures in the wasteland, which we have not seen. Which I'm excited about it. I want to see it. Okay, great. But no, I want to really emphasize this. The vault massacre that happens is so upsetting. And then the end of it, when they just kind of leave and take her father with them, because it wouldn't be a Fallout game if you don't have someone searching for their father. It's just part of the charm at this point. It looks like they're actually going to do a couple Fallout game ideas, because they also mentioned Eden, and I'm going to assume that the Brotherhood is going after that, which again, I talk about later. But for now, the Vault Massacre, brutal, disgusting, disturbing, and then the way they just get over it is even scarier. Like, the Vault Dwellers pseudo-survive, because they're let to survive, and then immediately they just start anew. They take down a bloody poster, replace the bloody poster, paint over the bloodstains, gone, never happened. And they just like seek to continue life like it wasn't the most traumatizing event that ever happened. The main girl actually recognizes them as raiders, not recognizes them, but calls them raiders. So clearly they know of raiders' existence. They know of an outside world. So there's like, I don't know, there's more that needs to be explored, and then I can kind of get behind it. But crazy, because like when you play the games, again, raiders are like the most trivial enemy. They are nothing. It's so easy to just like kick their ass, because what are they going to do about it? But here you realize just how like awful that would be for these people, human people who are barely surviving in the radiated desert of nothingness, to just like slaughter other real people. It's terrible. And they did it so good. It makes me very happy. I did forget to mention this. I would like to mention this. The heartbeat, like the heartbeat sequence at the very beginning of the show, when our main guy, the ghoul, who he will become, is like witnessing the first bomb drops. Oof, God, that was awful. That made me emotional too. That one made me so emotional too. It made me think of the opening of Fallout 4, and it was terrible. It was so good. It feels so awful knowing what's coming for these characters. Like, you already know shit's about to go down. You know they're going to have to deal with some nasty things in the end of the world. Awful business. Also forgot to mention, they have a stim pack during the massacre event. Great. Someone does Psycho during the massacre event. Great. I don't know. I'm appreciating it currently because it's not hand-holding the audience at all, which is great, right? Because I don't want to sit there for a whole bunch of exposition of like, oh, well, that's Psycho. It slows down time and then they can go super fast. Because, like smart audience goers can actually, you can figure these things out. You can kind of identify what's a drug and what's a stimulant and all that. And not yet, but I'm sure they're going to expand the world for people who aren't familiar with it already, but I appreciate them not shoving it down our faces too much. It's good. Shoving it down our faces, like pie. We'll go like pie. Ooh, I wrote this down too because I'm a genius. there is a priest vault tech outfit that I haven't seen in any game that I think they just made for the show, and they need to add it immediately because it looks so good. I was like, damn, that's sick. I wish I could have it. And then later in the same episode, that guy gets, like murdered through the heart, or like through the chest, like a pike through the chest. And, there's blood all over his thing. And the first thing that came into my mind was, crap, I can't loot it now because it's tainted. Problem. There was a problem there. Ooh. Never little like comment on how they shot it cinematographically, because I'm a little film nerd. That's why I have the channel. Is during the massacre that's kind of happening, someone shoots out this projector, which is like presenting day and night cycles, and it burns the film like a nuclear explosion. It looks like nuclear explosions are going on in this room they have specifically designed to look like the outside world, and that's damn good. I don't know if that was intentional. I'm pretty sure it was, but like it wasn't focused on at all. It was just happening in the background. So whoever call that was, director, maybe? Not Todd Howard for sure. Whoever called that was, I appreciate you. Good call. It looked really good. And then to finish that with the police stand by, ooh, give that man a raise. Give that woman a raise. Give them a raise. I don't care. Get it. No, good work. Okay. Third character, Maximus. I mentioned him before, but this is a person who was born into this world as a child, stuck in a milk carton fridge, which is how people would survive. I mean, there's a really great character in the actual games who was stuck in a fridge for like, 200, 300 years, which is super messed up. So look, I'm not hard. The point is, the game's got really great lore, and I really like the things that happen, and I'd love to see some of them, but now you're not messed up. Okay, done. Okay, anyway. Guys, can we please move on? What I'm trying to say is, small boy, something happened. Someone attacked him, either raiders or creatures. My guess is raiders, just based off of how he acts. But this traumatized him, was somehow rescued, I assume, by the Brotherhood of Steel. I think that's headcanon right now, because I don't think they actually show the Brotherhood of Steel coming in. And then decides to join their ranks. Brotherhood of Steel, shout out. Wherever I just put my my bracelet. There it is. Shout out Brotherhood of Steel again, because I rep their life. Not really, because I do believe in Synth Life Matters. # don't let them die. I'm very excited to see them on the screen. What they represent is so cool. And what they're doing with it on the screen, I think can be. It seems like they're currently presenting it as a militaristic organization that is devoted to saving the wasteland, and while doing so, collecting technology, which is not, in fact, what they entirely are in the games. My point being, like, in the games are like really focused on the technology aspect. I think they still are. I did hear Oxhorn talk about how he was like worried that they weren't going to do that when the trailers dropped, but I feel pretty confident that they will, and that what they're going to do is they're going to present it as the cult that it is, and then reveal to the people that what they're really after is technology. They don't really care about saving people as much as they care about getting as much tech as available and keeping it for themselves. Excuse me. The Brotherhood of Steel looks sick, and they act so callous, and they have like 12-year-olds indoctrinated into their thing. So cold as steel. Perfect. Done. That being said, I look forward to more on screen of them. The power armor looks so good. Oh my god, I freaked out. No, because like that Monsters Inc. style scene where they walk in all slow-mo, badass. Absolute badass. It just is. And you know what? I'm so okay with fangirling about this. It's so cool. There is no one who's played Fallout has not wanted to be in one of those suits. I don't care if you side with the Brotherhood of Steel. You are getting yourself power armor and you march around the wasteland like no one can touch you, because you know what? No one can. Be a tank. Be a train. Just barrel through them. So good. Furthering this, they have a scene with one of the elders, and they have someone in power armor in it, I'll probably play the scene, maybe, potentially. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's an intimidation tactic that they're using it for, like just like the pure presence, which was expertly shot again, by the way. It's so scary. Oh my God. If I were sitting in a chair and behind me stood like a 7-foot towering metallic tank, I'd piss my pants. I'd piss my pants. And then they double down. It's so scary. It's so scary. It's so good. And Maximus has a friend, which I'm sure will also be further explored as the series goes on. I believe they're genderqueer. I'm not sure. But someone puts razor blades in their boots to like harass them after they get a promotion. So Maximus ends up getting the promotion instead to Squire, which for all my Fallout fans out there, they know what that's up with. But basically, you have the knights, which are the people who are wearing the armor, and then you have the squires who are squires to the knights, and they bring all their stuff. They help them with mission objectives. They're more like they're like a literal squire. They kind of help with the equipment and such. They get boots in their they get razors in their boots. They get boots in their razors. And oof, terrible. First off, I don't know who doesn't like put on their boots like by looking inside of it. That's just a me thing. I don't know how you can like just stick your foot in a boot because it just doesn't work. Y'all can't see it, but I'm trying to do it. But it's kind of unclear if Maximus is responsible for it or not. So that will be interesting to explore further in the series. But he's very clearly ill, very mentally ill. Doesn't seem like a sane individual, but is willing to devote his life to the cause, which is exactly what you want when you're a crazy military cult. So I see why they're kind of focusing on him. I can see where they're going to go with him. I look forward to it. Last bit of the episode is they focus again. Oh, the Pridwing. Just want to talk about the Pridwing. Looks perfect. Little weird lore-wise that they have a Pridwing, but I'm okay with that. For now. I'm okay with that for now. They also do mention the Enclave and that they're going to get signed from the Enclave, or they're going to like target the Enclave for it, which is very exciting. My guess is it's going to be a GEC, Garden of Eden creation kit, and we're going to see what happens with that. I really look forward to seeing the current Enclave because 219 years later after the bombs fell, that's like 2300, I believe. If my memory serves me, when the bombs actually dropped, like be tough and whatnot, they'd be doing that shit. So I'm really creative. They showed a chicken, which I don't know if it's because of my screen or not, but it was pretty dark, so I couldn't really see. But it didn't look mutated, and that's a little weird. That's a little weird, y'all. But maybe I just couldn't see it properly because chickens are small. I don't want to assume. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one because we haven't seen any animals and we haven't really seen much tech except for the power armor suits. And the way the ghoul scene is introduced, they have a junk jet. Bring it to the screens. Give my junk jet some appreciation because it is the worst gun. But I'm so happy having it on screen. It's so neat. No, it's so worth it. It's so stupid, but I'm all for it. I'm so here. Junk jet moment. But so, yeah, that's kind of basically the first episode. Focus mostly on the girl, then a little bit on Maximus, then on the ghoul. And I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to go out from here. Because, there's a lot of possibilities, but I really think they're going to focus more on the girl. Because they gave her the most screen time on the first episode, and I don't know why you would do that otherwise. Diegetic and non-diegetic sound. The show does a great job of blending its music in and out of the actual show, which is another thing I wanted to talk about is the music being, because, it's super important to Fallout. I don't know if every song they used was in fact from the right time period. I know the opening and the ending was because they're in the game and because I have them on like half a dozen playlists because of the game, because the songs are slappers, and I can't wait for them to play some of the other songs. Can't wait to play Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. I'm excited. But they all kind of fit the vibe still, so I'm not entirely worried if it's the actual right year because the energy is there, and for the most part, I'm with it. I'm pretty sure they have a couple remixes of like some of the Fallout actual music. It fits so well. It sounds so good, and I'm very, I music is so important to the show, which reminds me of a couple other things that are really important to the show that I want to see. I'm hoping they have the same satire that the games have, where they're making fun of America and capitalism and colonialism, because those are important themes, and I would really like to see them explored. Um, ooh, this isn't something I want to see more. I mean, I would, but like they have a little Ragnarok character moment, which is great because I don't know, they're blending the world well. They're making sure they're like reading up on it enough. So hopefully that sticks around. That's going to get much more difficult as the story gets much more complicated. But I'm going to trust that there is love and care put into this show because there is so much love and care in the actual games that to not do that would just be a disrespect to everyone who actually wants to see this thing succeed, which is me. Okay. Rant over all the things that I enjoyed. Let me check my notes real fast to make sure. Okay. Anyway, theory time. What I think the show is going to go from here. So I'm going to have like 2 chapters in this entire video. Everything before and this. And you can skip all the way to it if you want. Main guy, the ghoul. He's crazy. Really adapting well to like cowboy in the Wild West that is nuclear devastation. Seems like he wanted that kind of from the beginning. Not really, but like, you know how some people are like cool with the world burning because it means they get to be whoever they want in it. That kind of vibes. I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's going to be more like a gun for hire. He's just kind of patrolling the wasteland, and so his story is going to have stuff that relates to the others to like connect them at some point potentially. I want his daughter to be alive because I think that would give it a really good story and really good motivation for him to be like fighting for survival in this terrible, terrible place just to protect her. That would be really cool. It's been done before, like Simon and Marceline, but there's not enough good end of the world shows that can do that. I haven't seen Walking Dead. I'm sure they have something similar because it's such a basic plot, but there's so many ways to make it really good, like Last of Us, like that kind of stuff. I think they could do it. I think they do it well. The girl, she is out of the vaults looking for her father, which is the plot to every Fallout game. So there's like a million different things they can do with that. The father seems to have more knowledge about what's going on in the outside world, which means I think he's been out before. And so we'll kind of get a bigger picture painted of like just how deep Vault-Tec is going. I'll probably have to beep that, sorry. But you know, just how like messed up Vault-Tec really is. We haven't really seen a lot of Vault-Tec, which is, to say the least, okay for now because it's the first episode, but I would love to because there's nothing I love more than Vault-Tec. They are my favorite thing in the games to hate because their experiments are so messed up and what they do is so messed up. I'm excited. It's interesting. Very cool. Side note, speaking of when they come out of the vault, when she comes out of the vault for the first time and there's like the petrified body people, like the way Pompeii happened, that was cool. Cool note. And then we have Maximus, who is going to get deeper and deeper into the craziness that is the Brotherhood of Steel, fall for all their dumb shit, make his way up to Paladin, and then maybe tear down the whole thing from inside, maybe come across something shun. We're going to discover more about the Enclave through him, and we're going to see what the pre-war government is doing now, which will be really interesting because I also am curious about the Enclave because they're the worst of people because they're the government and the American, not just American government, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's the people that caused this war. That'll be interesting to see more of. And all in all, I'm really excited about this show. I think he's going to unravel more, by the way. I think he's going to keep getting like crazier and crazier until he's just like insane. I'm really excited about this show. I'm excited about seeing a Deathclaw. I am excited about seeing Institute technology if they want to bust that out. I don't know how that's going to work on this coast. So probably not. They probably won't because we're on like a different area. There's a lot they can do. There's a lot they can even maybe get away with creating if they do it properly. And I'm excited and I look forward to it. And I want this to be good. I really want this to be good because this is everything. And I'm really glad it's happening. So thank you for chilling with me, and y'all have yourselves a lovely day.